Thanks to rookie star Caitlin Clark, the WNBA has become even more intense. We promised she would change things up, remember? She's producing earthquakes, that's for sure, not just shaking. Imagine this. There she is, doing what Caitlin does best, illuminating the scoreboard and electrifying the audience. However, not everybody enjoys the Clark program. Things heated up in this game versus the Seattle Storm. That's WNBA veteran Skylar Diggins Smith physically pushing Clark while she's entertaining the audience. But there's still more. Diggins Smith never finished. She got into an argument with Christy Sides, shouting, "Don't touch me," over and over. The Clark effect is real, it's obvious, and it's starting to wear on some players' nerves. The really bad news is this: Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are blazing hot. Perhaps in spite of or perhaps because of all this drama. It was amazing, people, so let's speak about this crazy game against the Seattle Storm. The Indiana Fever made a very energetic debut. They jumped out to a 28-point lead in the opening half. It seemed as though the Fever were performing on an entirely new plane. Caitlin Clark was just too strong. Her final stats for the game were incredible: 23 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. What's truly amazing, though, is how she improved the whole game. Even Kelsey Mitchell was excellent. She had an amazing 27 points. There is an incredible chemistry between Clark and Mitchell. They seem to have been performing together for a long time. Not only many months. Not to be overlooked is Lexi Hull. She was a true surprise when she came off the bench, making 6 of her 7 three-pointers. Hull scored 22 points in the end, demonstrating that the Fever have weapons that go beyond Clark. It wasn't all plain sailing either. In the second half, the Storm attempted to rally and trim the lead to just 8 points. That's when the real nature of this Fever team was revealed to us. Clark and colleagues remained composed instead of losing their minds. They modified their strategy, strengthened their defense. And they just dominated the last quarter. The Fever's ultimate score was 9-2-7-5. The Fever is more than just the Caitlin Clark squad, as this game demonstrated. With players that flawlessly complement one another, it's a full squad. They appear prepared to surprise a lot of people in this last part of the season, especially with Clark leading the way. Unquestionably, Clark is altering the rules of the game. It seems as though she has stepped up a notch after returning from the Olympic vacation. She has veteran-like numbers. Not rookie-like, which is starting to irritate some of the league's more seasoned players. Skylar Diggins Smith's experience is not an uncommon instance. Do you recall how the season began? There were some severe, almost excessive fouls called against Clark. It appeared as though several seasoned players intended to greet the newcomer in an unfriendly manner. However, things are different now. Clark is no longer merely a bright rookie. She really is a menace. She's setting records, guiding her team to the postseason, and most importantly, bringing the WNBA enormous exposure. When the Fever play, arenas are full. TV viewership is at an all-time high. For the WNBA, Clark is accomplishing what few players have been able to. She's turning women's basketball into a spectacle, and this is making others envious. After years of developing their careers, some seasoned players find themselves eclipsed by a rookie, 22 years old. The league must exercise caution. Fans may find this mounting tension thrilling, but it's also risky. It will be disastrous for Clark, the Fever, and the WNBA as a whole if she is hurt playing too physically or aggressively. In actuality, Clark should be being honored by the league. She's raising the bar for play, gaining more recognition, and gaining new admirers. Rather than bitterness, there ought to be appreciation. However, one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark is not going to give up. She came to rule, and she is currently doing just that. And the brighter she gets, the WNBA grows increasingly captivating. Let's now discuss something that has Fever supporters beaming broadly: the amazing chemistry that exists between Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark. Many folks were curious as to how Clark would get along with Kelsey Mitchell when she joined the Fear. Mitchell was the team's star already, after all. However, what's happening on the court is quite amazing. Currently, one of the most exciting teams in the league is composed of Clark and Mitchell. They appear to have a sixth sense for one another. Clark consistently finds Mitchell in scoring positions with her exceptional court vision. Mitchell, too. She's certainly making the most of her chances. We witnessed this in action during the game against the Storm. When these two are on the court, the other defense just doesn't know where to look. However, Lexi Hull was the night's biggest surprise. Hull's performance after coming off the bench made everyone check if they were seeing things correctly. 6 of the 7 three-pointers made. That's really nearly flawless. What does this illustrate? Not only is Clark excelling on her own, but she's raising the bar for the entire squad. When Hull and Clark are on the court together, Hull, who was formerly a regular rotation player, looks like an exceptional sharpshooter, and we also can't overlook Aaliyah Boston. She didn't have very impressive stats in this game, but her presence in the paint is vital. She provides Mitchell and Clark with the confidence to act aggressively because they know they have a strong defensive base. The Fever won't just be a playoff team if they continue to play with Clark leading the offense, Mitchell as a reliable scorer, Hull surprising from outside, and Boston controlling the paint. Nobody wants to play against them in the playoffs. Who would have guessed that we would be talking like this? The Fever, who placed last in the rankings the previous season, are currently in the thick of things when it comes to a postseason berth. And it's not by chance. The victory over the Storm lifted the Fever's record to 13-15. As a result, they are now ranked 7th overall. Recall that the playoffs are for the top 8 teams. It's a significant change. However, the way the Fever are playing adds to the excitement of this playoff race. They're not simply triumphing, they're crushing teams that are thought to be better. The rest of the Fever's program is also very important. These days, every game resembles the NBA final. The Fever appear prepared for this challenge, especially with Clark leading the way. Really amazing is how much better the Fever are getting each time they play. At the beginning of the season, there were flashes of genius interspersed with inexperienced errors. They are now playing with the assurance of a well-seasoned playoff squad. The WNBA playoffs this year seem to be among the most thrilling in recent memory. And a significant reason for that is that the Indiana Fever, under the direction of their incredible rookie, are fired up and ready to play. However, we now have a topic to discuss that has everyone on the edge of their seats. The intense competition between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. This race is thrilling. It's like a playoff final. Caitlin Clark is one person who is changing the definition of what it means to be a rookie in the WNBA. Conversely, Angel Reese is a rising star on the boards who is carving out her own niche for herself. Let's examine the figures. With regards to assists and points per game, Clark leads all rookies. It's not only that she plays well, she is performing like a seasoned all-star. Against the Mercury, her 29 points and 10 assists are MVP, not rookie stats. However, Angel Reese isn't trailing far. She leads all rookies in rebounds and has a remarkable record of 15 straight double-doubles earned. For any player, let alone a rookie, that's an amazing accomplishment. Additionally, in her most recent game against the Phoenix Mercury, she scored 19 points and pulled down 20 rebounds. The way that Clark and Reese are influencing their different teams adds to the intrigue of this competition. In addition to shattering records, both players are bringing the league to a level never seen before. Among the most viewed shows this season are Fever and Sky Games, and I can't wait for the next one. This Rookie of the Year competition may end up being among the closest in WNBA history. Each player has compelling reasons to support their position. Clark has an advantage if I had to place a wager right now. The key factor is her influence on the Fever's performance, which goes hand in hand with her remarkable stats and the publicity she's garnering for the league. It's certain of one thing. The WNBA is the real winner, regardless of the outcome. Speaking of winners, let's discuss something that's inspiring a lot of individuals to have lofty dreams. In her rookie season, could Caitlin Clark lead the Indiana Fever to a WNBA championship? Sounds crazy, I know. We're talking about a squad that finished last season in the bottom half of the standings, led by a rookie. But who can claim it's impossible now that we've seen what can happen? Let's consider that for a moment. Clark is not your typical novice. Many all-star veterans have never been able to play at the level that she is. She has the kind of court vision, scoring ability, and above all, winning mindset that you often see in players with years of league experience. It's not just Clark either. With every game, the Fever as a whole change. The basketball game Kelsey Mitchell is playing is the best of her career. Yes, it's a long and challenging journey to the title. The league contains clubs with greater experience and potential for greater quality. However, have you observed the Fever's performance while they're ablaze? They are capable of defeating anyone. And there's the whole fantasy aspect. Consider this. When a rookie joins the squad, it revolutionizes the game and garners tremendous interest for the league, turning a losing team into champions. That'd be a plot fit for Hollywood. How do you feel? Is there a genuine chance, or is this just a weird dream? In her first season, will Caitlin Clark's magic actually propel the Fever to the top of the WNBA? Tell me in the comments below. It's obvious that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are at the center of all of this expectation. It's amazing. But there's also a lot of pressure involved, and that's where the intriguing part starts. The regular season is about to come to an end for the Fever. Nowadays, every game is an early final. Simple games and errors are gone. Show if this exhilaration is temporary. The question is how Clark and the Fever will handle this pressure. So far, they've exceeded expectations. As playoffs approach, the game changes. Every possession is important, defenses are stronger, and plans are more complicated. We must also consider that other teams are watching. They've seen Clark's skills. They saw the Fever perform. Every NBA coach is trying to stop Indiana's machine. The other team members, Kelly Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, carry a lot of weight. They must perform at their best to help Clark in crucial moments. Additionally, Coach Christie sides is crucial. She must motivate the team and manage her stars units while surprising enemies who are preparing to fight the Fever. Clark and the Indiana Fever will be tested in the coming games. Legends originate here. When everything is at stake, extraordinary athletes and teams shine. How do you view the Fever's playoff chances? Will Caitlin Clark win Rookie of the Year? Most importantly, can the Fever win the championship in advance? Discuss in the comments. Usually I reply quickly and like reading your thoughts. I sometimes discover new perspectives through your ideas. If you like this analysis and want to be updated on WNBA news, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Thus, you'll never miss a film on elite women's basketball players. Let's follow and discuss every WNBA move throughout this exciting period. I appreciate your time and we'll see you shortly.